we're getting through that this morning and figure it out. Go apart, figure it out. You lose those chords and
Absolutely.
things don't work as well.
That's right. A couple before we jump into a couple of announcements I want to make. If anyone's interested in the 3rd year anniversary of Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, they're at Celebration Point. The big party is August the 12th. You can buy your ticket. You can buy your tickets at spurriers.com. I think that's what the website is. Also, I wanted to mention Florida Victorious is doing it's like a sweepstakes deal where you can. What is going on here? Okay. So basically what you do is you go to floridavictorious.com. They're going to be giving away 2 tickets to the Florida-Texas game November 9th in Austin, Texas, an exclusive pregame player meet and greet. Also an invitation to a pregame Florida Victorious event in Austin, $1,500 voucher for travel, food, and ground transportation, free 3-day, 2-night stay in Austin, and a signed Trey Wilson football jersey. And basically you purchase like, $10 gets you 100 entries, 20 gets you 200 entries, 50 gets you 500 entries.
Wow.
And then I think if you buy, if you give them $100, you get 2,000 entries, and so on and so on. So pretty good deal. Raise a little bit of money, and get to go see the Gators play the Texas Longhorns out in Austin. What do you think about that, buddy?
It's a good pack. Talk about it on my show tonight. You get the cash, trip, plus you get the inside stuff, and you get with some of the players and things like that. That's a heck of a deal on that. I'd like to own it myself. You Shane brought me. I hope my team is here. We're looking forward to going to Austin. I talked to one of my good buddies down in Denver just yesterday. Talking smack, man. Talking smack, So we get a chance to go in there and see what Texas football is all about. To be a Texas fan way back in the day. Because the first coach I ever saw that I wanted to go play for in high school, I was in college, just starting out trying, was coach. And everybody knows who that is. And they went on to have great programs, Arkansas, and had some great. I went to Austin once on media seminar loved it. Got me a burnt orange shirt, said Texas, won a ping contest. And I really liked Austin with 3 or 4 times. But for sure, it's going to be a heck of a rivalry. I don't know how much of a rivalry, but to Quinn Ewers, Jane, every game they play is a rivalry because everybody wants to beat Texas.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I've talked to a lot of buddies of mine that they're already fed up with Texas, and they haven't even played a game as an official member of the SEC yet. Just because Texas has that mentality that they're better than everybody else. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. They do have a very good football team. I like their coach. I like the quarterback. I think they have a chance to make the 14 the 12-team playoff for sure.
You see the story about Quinn Ewers saying that he was a good move, that just not going to leave and go someplace else, and it would be. And I think too. But if you were in Art's place, would you transfer, or would you sit behind yours?
Well, look, I know the Manning family. They're as good as it comes, and they did their research to decide to go to Texas. Look, Archer, he'll be a redshirt sophomore this year, so he still has 3 years to play, and it may be more. I don't even know how it works now, but I mean, look, when Arch Manning takes over there, if he takes over, he's going to have tons of talent around him. He's got a great guy that can call some plays. That's a former quarterback himself. No, I mean, I think it's kind of cool that he has not tried to bounce around and find somewhere to play. They're comfortable with the situation at Texas and playing for Steve Sarkisian.
Had conversations about this before, about DJ Lagway. Arch didn't get a pass for him. That's for that. You think that shouldn't force the package, but Lagway seems to feel like he's going to get on the field. You don't feel the same way. You think Lagway should get some time for the package once again.
Well, you're looking at two different types of quarterbacks. The only thing or only reason that DJ will get a package is because he's a runner. Arch Manning's not a runner. Arch is the same quarterback as Quinn Ewers. They're both drop back passers. I still don't think DJ personally is going to play a lot this year unless things go sideways. And I could be wrong, and I'll have a better feel for that once I watch some practices. But I know for a fact that this is Graham Mertz's team. Graham Mertz is the starting quarterback, and he plans to hopefully lead this team to some wins, a bunch of wins this year. Greg says Buddy's connection is not great. Yeah, we know. Buddy's got some he left some
wires,
some of his equipment, wires, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Tony says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel, Sark's a QB guru. No reason to leave that program. And Joseph says Quinn is just better. Last name means nothing when you strap it up. Well, I think they're both outstanding players. I've heard nothing but good things about Arch from my people that are close to the Texas program. But Quinn Ewers was like the top quarterback in America. If people remember, he got a huge NIL deal out of the state of Texas to go to Ohio State, and then ended up transferring back home. Greg says his buddy's in the doghouse already with his new wife. She took away his internet access.
We just have problems with Cox here in Ocala. Yeah, so I'm at my sister-in-law's house. She's wonderful. I'm close. And we're just trying to where we can get to today, figure out tomorrow,
Yeah. Army Sniper on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, does DJ stay after this season? Yeah, I think DJ Lagway has a very good financial plan or contract to be a Gator. But I think if Billy Napier is not your coach, which I do not think will happen, DJ will probably be gone. That's just my gut feeling.
I agree with you. I think he's this guy. I got to say, I was telling my friend from Texas again today. He said he's going to be gone after this year. I said, not unless he just fails miserably, because they know that DJ Lagway may not be long for the world. In fact, that they probably, and Billy would have to go fail miserably, like win 2 games, be fired, in my opinion. I think anything around 6 gets him, or 5 or 6 gets him another year, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Andrew has a question on Facebook Live, brought to you by Meldon Law. Who's the most overhyped team this year? Who would you say, buddy?
Kind of got a feeling it's Ole Miss. They have a lot of talk about Ole Miss and Lane, meaning from the standpoint he'll win 9. I don't think it's a championship caliber. In fact, if you lump the teams together, groups of 4, 5 now, or since you now have groups of 4, Ole Miss be peaking at the top, might not. The teams I think Tennessee might be overhyped. We'll see it them, and so those would be 2 teams now outside the SEC. I think Miami might be the most hyped. Kulak was saying the other day, Kobe, it said, he said, where does it say you're going to win 8 games this year and then do it next year? Those are Miami. So I think that would be in the right in there. I think Georgia's going to be real. I think Alabama's going to be real. And so I guess I picked the Tennessee and Ole Miss might be the most overhyped.
Yeah, Andy says Dan Hurley got his job with UConn and his money, $50 million. Yep, well deserved, going for a 3-peat. Buck says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel, Arch is a little overrated. Now, Buck, how do you know that? You ain't seen him play.
Yeah, how do you know? You don't know that.
You don't. I've heard wonderful things about Arch. So we'll see. He'll get his shot eventually, and we'll see how he plays. I'm
a fan of DJ Lagway. I've seen. What little I've seen his ability to run and throw the ball. He's pretty fast. Well, he's also strong. I like his quick action on snap passes off. Accuracy is good. I think he could be a good, if not great, depending on what happens next year's.
Yep. CertaPro Painters of Gainesville, area's leader in painting excellence and proud partner of the Florida Gators, offering professional painting services from homes and businesses, plus cabinet refinishing and carpentry repairs. Visit CertaPro.com.
The dashboard, and two people across the street started, and I looked up at them. I thought, what are you doing? They saw my hat. They said, "Hang on." They got in the car. She's right ahead of all the way and gave parking space. And so then I saw another Gator from Clearwater. I think his name was Flores. Said his dad underwrote 2 chairs in the business school of Florida. Gator fan. He's all belly in the playoffs. Thinks his biggest concern is this, a lot of Gators are not happy with all the stadium talk.
All right, so we got a Facebook Live here. I agree with what Tony says here on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon. Funny, a kid transfers and he's a sellout. Arch stays and he's overrated. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, he's a good player. He's a good player. So, I mean, when DJ ain't playing this year, people are going to say he's overrated because he's not playing.
Yeah.
You know, it's right place at the right time.
Hey,
I saw this.
Let me ask you a question.
Send me.
Sorry. Ask you a question.
Oh,
you see this morning in all kinds they had about John Hevesy?
No.
You know where he's now? And nothing against John. Okay. It was a likable guy. And let's face it, we've all had to take to survive sometime. The former offensive line coach of Mississippi State, working at Lowe's. Not
He's
coach.
Working where? At Lowe's?
Lowe's. Now, there's no shame in work for a dollar. I don't want to do that, but it is unusual to think that his just kind of an offensive coordinator with him with the mullet and working at Lowe's.
Well, as I've said multiple times, the coaching profession is all about relationships. If you don't have a relationship with, a big so-called tree out there, and you're stuck with one guy, he was with Urban, and then he was with Dan. I don't know if he was ever with, who was the guy that went to Boston College? Anyway, I can't think of his name. So if those guys aren't coaching, or if he's never worked with anybody else,
Steve
Adazio, yeah, I don't know if he worked with him or not, but
I think he did.
If you don't have other people out there that are still in the coaching profession, it's hard to get a job.
Yeah.
And that's probably why. It also could be, I don't know where he lives now. I don't know about what age his kids are. Some of these coaches, as I said it multiple times, coaching high school ball for 10 or 12 years that I did, I coached multiple of the Gators coaches' kids, and they probably got to see them play like 3 games in their entire high school career because they're gone all the time. And that's another reason why I never got into coaching, because you miss out on a lot of your kids' activities.
Yeah.
But I was not aware of that at all.
Yeah.
John wants to know on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, what if Florida goes 4-8, but they are in every game, including Georgia and Texas? Well, it won't be good. We got to win games. Find ways to win it. That's all I got to say.
Won't lose his job, though, because that means lose his job. They're going to lose him. They'll fire some assistant coaches, but I don't think they'll fire because they lose TJ Lagway.
Yeah, Buck says Lagway may sit 1 year, not 2. Well, he's got a senior. That's the difference. I'm not going to sit here and argue that Archie Manning, the reason he's not playing is because he's not very good. He's got a first-round draft pick sitting in front of him in Quinn Ewers, so we'll leave it at that. All right, so, buddy, I saw this. I want to get your thoughts. I'm going to bring this up with JC tomorrow. A buddy of mine sent me this last night, and it's interesting. It's this big old chart. I'll try to get it to the producer to post tomorrow, but it's from K-Ford ratings. I'm not sure what K-Ford ratings is, but it's got this chart of who within each threshold, teams that are ranked by projected strength of win total. So it's basically talking about regular season wins required to be in the CFP at large discussion, meaning the 12-team playoff. It has like a group for 8 wins, 9 wins, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay. This is the teams that they think will get in as an at large if you hit that threshold. For 8 total wins, they have one team in all of America that can get into the 12-team playoff with 8
Florida
wins.
Gators.
You know who that
Florida
is?
Gators.
The Florida Gators. Yep. With 9 wins, you got Georgia, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Mississippi State, OU, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Alabama, LSU, Wisconsin, Southern Cal, Auburn, UCLA, Purdue, and Carolina. I'm not going to go through all this. I'm going to get it posted tomorrow. But it's interesting. It's like I said, we know the schedule on paper is very, very difficult. Embrace it, quit bitching, and go play, which our team is going to do, but our fan base has a problem with that. But I do think if the Gators, I agree 100% with this, and I said it, I think this summer, I think if we win 8, we're 9, we're in the playoffs.
9, you're in. 8 on the borderline, but I agree. If you, in fact, are playing the toughest schedule in the history of college football, say it is, and you win 8 games, you're something. And I think they did a shot at it. You will have beat a lot of those good teams.
Yeah, we'll get in at 8. I don't know if you're still talking, buddy, or not, because your internet service. We probably should have just put you on not on internet today.
About that. Still talking. I'm here. Do you hear me all right?
Yeah, I got you now.
All right.
Before I forget, let's get to This Day in Sports, which is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life with Campus USA Credit Union. So, buddy, in 1877, I don't think you were covering sports at that time.
No, it was the next year.
The first ever Wimbledon tennis championship began. It was the first official lawn tennis tournament, and it was men's singles only. And that was the first time in 1877. That's brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. You been watching
Speaking
Wimbledon,
of which,
buddy?
did you happen to see Ben Shelton? Ben Shelton. I had never seen him play before yesterday, and he was in that match. Yannick, who was like ranked in men's, and a heck of a match. It's really a big, strong, left-handed guy with 30-mile-an-hour serves and a pretty good volley guy. He gave him good competition, got to it, and lost the whole fault. But I was impressed with him. Obviously, he's a champion. I tell you what, I enjoyed watching him yesterday.
Army Sniper on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says the fan base has a problem with the coaches, not the players. Maybe the fan base does, but the fan base should have a lot of problems with a lot of the players as well. And again, I do not like to take shots at players. However, I think you can now that they're getting paid. But we had some poor, bad defensive players for sure last year, and they're gone. Again, everybody who sits here wants to talk about DJ staying. How much does DJ play? That ain't your problem, folks. It's all defensive based. You have to get off the field on third downs. You have to affect the opposing team's quarterback. And you got to keep the ball in front of you. If you can play average defense, and I'm going to say it every day on this program until the season starts and during the season, if you can play average defense, this will be a fun team to watch. We have not even been close to being an average defense. Agree or disagree, buddy?
I agree. So we talked a lot of times, had a conversation with Francis. He brought up the fact that safety play could be much better with the players right now. You know that. It's been one of the areas of concern. It hasn't been just the players, the coaches have been suspect. I don't know what happened to the secondary. They had the guys that we thought could deliver, didn't. But the safety play should be dramatically improved. with the players and the coaching change.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think defensively we've added some good coaches. I agree with that. But having said all that, you can blame the coaches whatever you want. They're not the ones out there making plays, and if they're not the ones tackling. I just do not think we've had SEC caliber talent on that side of the ball. And the reason
you had Mike Peterson on. Didn't you have Mike Peterson on today? He's not a second.
I've had him on, but
yeah,
what I've been trying to say is, well, Mike's excited about this year. He thinks the defense is going to be much, much improved. I will say this, and I'll say it again, and these are facts. But whatever you want to say about Billy Napers, a game day coach, play caller, all that stuff, the best players for the Florida Gators in his 2 years he's been responsible. He and his staff have been responsible for bringing those guys in.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like we're putting a bunch of dudes in the National Football League that we lost a bunch of games with, because we have not. So I'll argue with any about that. Let's see. Michael says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, pretty much any Gator fan born after 2000 is toxic in the way they bitch and complain about Gator football way too much. That's what I said the other day.
I would agree with that. I would agree with it. Yeah.
I think anybody that was following the Florida Gators for their first time from 1990 to about 2006, 7-ish, they were born at the right time. Let's just put it that way. I joke around with the kids that when I do all my pregame and postgame and during the week shows with Steve Russell at WRUF, I joke with those producers there. I'm like, you guys were born at the wrong time, because y'all are suffering through not great football seasons. But if you were in the journalism school from 90 through 2008, you love being a Florida Gator.
Well, hey, Shane, I'll go back further than that. And, I go back forever. If you were there before that, the Graves era, you were very happy to win 6 or 7 games and go bowl. Steve Spurrier, great year. They won 9, and they got to beat Georgia Tech Springfield. That was really fantastic. If you ever had the SEC championship, that was a great year. They did that senior year. They got beat by Georgia. But, it's not like the old cliche goes. There's a group of people out there who they wait on third base and think they had and the point is it doesn't come easy. And so you best learn to enjoy those good seasons when you don't championships right now until hopefully they get into a position of being in a championship mode.
Yeah, and let me say this. I don't want to leave out the 84, 85 teams, because I think they were tremendous. They had studs. I do. There are rumblings out there that there could be a possibility of some of those guys from those teams coming back and being honored, and I sure hope that happens.
I sure hope so too.
There's so many of those guys that I know. I mean, obviously I didn't play with them, but I've gotten to know them over the years, that are so bitter towards the university that it would be wonderful. It would be wonderful if they did something for the 84 and the 85 teams. That's all I'm going to say.
Agree.
I hope it happens. I hope it happens for sure.
By the way, Shane, one of my 3 favorite teams of all time was the '69 Gators in Alvarez. It was a fantastic season, and Cinderella story that year, and they ended up beating SEC champions and Dickey's team in the game that year. Of course, Dickey was in their coach, but that was their President Reeves team. Just loved watching that team play.
Silverback Concrete builds firm foundations for generations. You stand on it. We stand by it. All right, buddy. Before we let you go, who you got on your program tonight?
Well, we're going to have our friend Brown back. We got a young Kyle Curtis brings of 16 parts of his story about the new SEC. We'll have Coach Lauren Meadows on the Buddy Martin show. So check us out at 9 p.m. on YouTube.
Yeah. And speaking of Reese Alvarez, we just got a text on the Titan and More text line. This is from Jimmy. He says, "Can you please explain to me why Carlos Alvarez is not in the Ring of Honor?" I cannot explain that to you because I think he and Lomas Brown, they qualify because they're both in the College Football Hall of Fame. That's one of the criteria. They need to be in there like now. It's a shame they're not. There's only 3 people I believe that are qualified to go in the Ring of Honor at this point: Carlos, Lomas, and Urban.
Yeah.
And those 2 need to go in before
Urban. Well, you can talk to the choir on particularly Carlos, who was a great addition to being a great football player. Loves these Gators. Has been a great Gator and amazing. Maybe because he was a little radical today, but not as radical as you think, because he was trying to players color, break the color line, doing things that were controversial about him. He's in favor of investing the union because some players not in trade. That got him in trouble. But what a great player and what a great human being Carlos Alvarez and Lomas. I don't know Lomas. I know Carlos personally. He's a fat person.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Good stuff as always. We'll take up a offering to get you a good internet service for the next week.
Home on my third of my city. I'll be well, but I'm being treated very well here at my sister-in-law's house. I can't complain. It's not her fault. Cox is not doing a job.
All right. Be safe, buddy. That's Buddy Martin from the Buddy Martin Show. Join us on the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Comfort Gym. I also want to mention, if anyone out there has a business, we've expanded our sponsorships because so many people want to get involved. We have a few more spots. Whether it's a car dealership, maybe we can get, when JC buys his minivan, we can get them to come aboard. But we've had a lot of people that we've added. We cut it off, but our great crew has expanded for a few more spots. So if anyone's interested, give us a call or an email to the program. Take a quick time out, come back. We'll be joined by former Gator tight end and NFL tight end Aaron Walker. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security Studios. We'll be right back.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills.
Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, Titan MRI, Meldon Law, Peachland Dental, QC Kinetics, Campus USA Credit Union, Dave & Buster's. Our Gridiron sponsors, Sutter Pro Painters, Comfort Temp, UF Bookstores, Quality Plumbing, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, F45. Our touchdown sponsors are Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, MG&A Wealth, Nest and Wild.
Again, thank you for all the great businesses that support the show. Please remember, if you like what we are doing here, thank our sponsors and support the businesses that support us.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith understands your joint pain.
It does not surprise me that there are a ton of people out there that's in pain.
That's why Emmitt is such a proponent of QC Kinetics, offering real lasting joint pain relief with non-surgical, all-natural biologic treatments.
Whether it's a joint pain, ankle pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, hip pain, any kind of pain, the body eventually will break down when it's under that much stress.
That stress can cloud your judgment to the point that you'll just say yes to the scalpel or yes to another prescription of pain pills. But maybe it's time for a second opinion from QC Kinetics.
The reason why I would recommend this is because the natural biologics that QC Kinetics is providing you gives your body a chance to naturally heal itself.
Restorative, regenerative solutions are here. Get lasting relief and live your life.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. Large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Ruse Ogre State Farm offers a team of dedicated insurance professionals Ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visit ogreinsurance.com. Give them a call at 352-240-1779. We're going to go back to the Titan Tomorrow hotline courtesy of Comfort Tent, joined by former Gator and NFL tight end Aaron Walker. Good morning, Aaron. How you doing, my man?
Looking good, Shane. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. Hey, I appreciate you. Before we jump into the camp you guys are putting on down there, a bunch of former Gators, let's just talk about your career a little bit. You know, you played in the you got a little bit of Coach Spurrier and Ron Zook. Tell our fans what the biggest difference in those two head coaches were.
You know, I think, you know, Coach Spurrier was obviously a, offensive-minded coach. Really, you know, the simplicity of everything with him. And then, you know, Coach Ron Zook was a lot more of a defensive-minded special teams guy. Coach Spurrier was more expected a lot out of you. He was, you know, very he, you know, controlled the offense. He was more, like I said, offensive-minded, and he kind of let the defensive guys control their defense, where, you know, Coach Zook was a little more hands-on and everything else. So, but no, you know, I enjoyed my, like you said, I'd spent 4 years with Coach Spurrier, one with Ron Zook, and the offensive coordinator was Zonbrecker whenever Coach Zook was there. So I enjoyed my time with both guys for sure. Obviously, Coach Spurrier recruited me, so the time spent with him was special. So, but you know, I enjoyed my time for sure.
Yeah, we got a text here from William on the Titan MR text line. He wants to know, you played with two really good quarterbacks, Chris Leak and Rex Grossman. Which one threw the better ball?
Well, I didn't play with Leak. I only played with Rex. So,
okay. Yeah, that's right, because Rex was part of he was with Zook too. I forgot Rex was with Zook. Yep.
Yeah, so Jesse, I actually played with Jesse Palmer and Rex. So, and, you know, had Brock Berlin mixed in there a little bit too. You know, all those guys threw great balls, good catchable balls. You know, Jesse and Brock were more over the top guys, and then Rex was, arm angle was a little, like almost like a sidearm, a little bit quicker release too. So, but like I said, you know, all three of those guys threw catchable balls, and I enjoyed, you know, everyone had, you know, different characteristics, and, you know, I enjoyed playing with those guys.
Yeah, those three could flat out throw it, no question. Here's a text from Bob on the Titan MR text line. He says, what Gator teammates do you stay in touch with the most?
So we have you know, it's funny because I think that you become more of a fan of the program after you get done playing. You know, you're involved when you're playing, you kind of get involved with the day-to-day. And then when you're a fan, you see the product that's on the field on a Saturday. So you're a little bit, you know, maybe more critical of what you see. But, you know, we have a group chat that's got, let's see, we've got Jeff Chandler and Zach Sedalis, David Jorgensen, Mike Pearson, Todd Johnson, and Brock Berlin's in there. Nick Shirelli's in there. So those guys, we talk weekly, even out of the season. And Rob Roberts is on there. But those guys, you know, that group of guys for sure. We talk a lot. Matt McCown's on there. So yeah, those group of guys, 15 or 20 guys that we have in that chat. Like I said, we speak weekly.
Yeah, that's very cool for sure. Live a healthier lifestyle with our bold, flavorful smoothies and our amazing food. Tropical Smoothie. When you eat better, you feel better. Aaron Walker, former Gator tight end on the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Comfort Tent. All right, let's talk about this camp we got going on this weekend. A bunch of former Gators. It's a free camp at Astronaut High School. That's where you played, right?
Yes, sir. Yep. Mims, Florida, North Brevard County. Yeah.
So this camp, it's on. Yeah, go let everybody know what it's all about.
Yeah. So that group of guys who I mentioned that are in that group chat, we wanted a reason to get together, and the second one is we wanted to get into the communities and really give back to those communities that gave so much support to us throughout our careers. And in my specific city of Mims, it's a small town. Everybody kind of knows everybody, and there's a lot of people who supported me behind the scenes, throughout my high school career and into my collegiate career and on in the NFL. And I'm back at Astronaut High School as an assistant for football and an assistant for baseball. Both of my girls played sports there, and I have one girl that's going to be a senior this year that's playing sports there too. So I'm embedded in school, and have a lot of contacts in the area. So we just thought that would be a great starting spot, kind of building the foundation of what we really expect of a camp, and kind of set the expectations for future camps by being there at Astronaut High School. Mike DeGore is also a Brevard County guy. He's from Palm Bay, the south end of the county, so he's really been doing a great job of getting word out on that south end of the county. And then we've got some great Gators that are from Brevard County in this area. Joe Cohen is from Brevard County. Jawan Taylor's from Brevard County. Chauncey Gardner Johnson is also from Brevard County. So we've got a lot of great football in Brevard County, and it was just an opportunity to come back, open up the doors, really give back and show the community what the love of the sport and the love of the game that gave so much to us.
And this is a free camp for people that are wondering, and it's this Saturday the 13th from 9:30 to 11:30 at Astronaut High School. It's from ages 6 to 12-year-olds, so it's young guys, and it's free. How do they just show up, or is there somewhere that people need to go online and register?
Yeah, so we've got the flyer with the QR code. We've
got it posted up right now.
Yeah, so we've got about 175 to 180 kids that are pre-registered and signed up. So we'll have room for 200 or a little over 200. So yeah, they just click on the QR code, fill out the registration form. We'll have waiver forms and stuff the morning of the camp just to sign and so they can participate in camp. And then it's just we've Mike DeGore, like I said, Mike DeGore and Steve Shipp have done a great job of organizing station work and things for camp. We've got Rob Roberts has also done a great job of just overseeing all of the camp activities, and really sometimes it's hard to get. Everybody has a schedule, everybody has family that are moving in different directions, and to be able to really bring guys together is pretty difficult. And Rob's done a great job of kind of getting everybody on board with the schedule and this whole deal. And we've got some great sponsors with Coca-Cola, Body Armor, and some local sponsors. Shiloh's restaurant is hosting dinner for us on Friday night. Sonny's Barbecue is supplying lunch for the kids after camp. So Shannon Snell, another former Gator, is pitmaster at Sonny's, so he's done a great job of helping us with lunch and stuff for the kids. So man, we can't be more excited to get the kids on the field and just kind of, like I said, show the love of the game that we have, and just kind of carry that over to those kids.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Aaron, but this is something that y'all want to do throughout the entire state of Florida moving forward, where it kind of rotates around the state to different former players' high schools, correct?
Yes, sir. That's the goal. We're going to try to move into a different city every summer, and it'll be the same format. Camp will be free. We've got, like I said, some great sponsorships that are donating backpacks and other things. So, yeah, we want to have former Gators that are from that community or the surrounding community to just get involved and let us know, hey man, I'm looking forward to, or I want to host camp this year, and then we just kind of, we'll go to that city and really get embedded in the community, and like I said, show the love of the game, and then just enjoy being with the kids.
All right, we got a text here, and we'll get you out of here on the Titan MR text line. This is Sharon in Fort Myers. She says, Aaron, how often you get back to Gainesville for games, and your thoughts on Coach Billy Napier?
So I usually get to about 2 or 3 games a year, and it's not. I don't always go to one game or another. It's like I said, I have 2 daughters, one that's out of high school and then one that's in high school. So a lot of it has to do with their schedule. But I enjoy. I love the city of Gainesville. It's forever. It's forever changing. The atmosphere, you can't, in my opinion, you can't beat it. So, as far as Coach Napier goes, it's, when you read stuff online, it's really subjective of what people are thinking. But, from a player's point of view, I'm glad that he's there and the things that he's done, with the kids and the staff that he has. I'm looking forward to the product that's going to be put on the field this year. We all know it's not going to be easy with the schedule that we have, and and then just the competition of the SEC with the additions of Oklahoma and Texas. It doesn't get easy for us. So, it's just, you want to see success. Like I said, we're really critical in our group chat of what we see on the field, and it's going to take a little bit of time. And I know people don't want to give them time, but if we don't give somebody time to be successful, then we're going to be in this vicious cycle of restarting every 2 or 3 years, and then we'll never get ahead. So I'm looking forward, like I said, to the product that's being put on the field this year, and I wish all the boys, all the Gator boys, luck and success this year, and we look forward to watching them play ball.
Yep, and one last text came in, and I meant to ask you about this earlier. This is from Andy on the Titan MR text line. He wants you to talk about your time as a NASCAR pit crew guy.
Oh yeah, that was. I tell you, man, the story is I was in St. Louis playing football for the Rams and got let go and I had an injury, and then the next year I signed with the Ravens in 2008, and then in 2009 I was in Cleveland, and I got let go in the preseason. I had a family that lived in Charlotte, which is about the halfway point of between Cleveland and home in Florida, and I stopped in overnight there, and just kind of one of those deals where my cousin's husband knew somebody in NASCAR, and he's like, man, these guys are moving a lot towards former athletes, and you should really give them a call. So I just took a tour, spent a day, took a tour of one of the shops, and they were like, yeah, if when you get ready, we'll we'd love to have you up here and teach you some of the skills and see where it goes. And I kind of spent the next 2 or 3 months just kind of waiting by the phone to see if anything happened, and people get hurt or see if I get signed or anywhere, and it didn't. So about November of that year, I went up to Hendrick Motorsports and started training with them, and ended up being a backup fueler and jackman for Dale Jr.'s team, and worked in his nationwide or Xfinity Series team with Danica and a few other people, and just kind of evolved, and I spent 7 years there in Charlotte, the Charlotte area with NASCAR, and it was great. It was a great time, and a lot of travel. So it's I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, last thing for you here on the Titan MR text line from Fred. He wants to know what other Gators are from Astronaut High School.
So before me is Chris Collinsworth. And then we have Wilbur Marshall, and then myself. So, and then we had a couple of guys that I think were there for a short period of time. Donnie Whiting was a quarterback that was there for a brief time. So yeah, some pretty decent names coming out of Astronaut High School.
Not bad at all. Well, we appreciate Aaron Walker joining the program. We'll keep hyping up this camp that's this Saturday at Astronaut High. Aaron, appreciate your time, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you in Gainesville this year.
All right, Shane. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yep, that's former Gator tight end Aaron Walker joining us on the Titan MR hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Take a quick time out, come back, wrap up. Got a few more questions and texts to get to. You're watching and listening to PodUp with Matthews in the morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills.
Our premium sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, Titan MRI, Meldon Law, Peachland Dental, QC Kinetics, Campus USA Credit Union, Dave & Buster's. Our gridiron sponsors, Sutter Pro Painters, Comfort Temp, UF Bookstores, Quality Plumbing, Silverback Concrete, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, F45. Our touchdown sponsors are Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Okido America, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, McDonald's of Gainesville, 84 Lumber, Dowling Signs, Baker's Sporting Goods, MG&A Wealth, Nest and Wild.
Again, thank you for all the great businesses that support the show. Please remember, if you like what we are doing here, thank our sponsors and support the businesses that support us.
Pro football legend Emmitt Smith understands your joint pain.
It does not surprise me that there are a ton of people out there that's in pain.
That's why Emmitt is such a proponent of QC Kinetics, offering real lasting joint pain relief with non-surgical, all-natural biologic treatments.
Whether it's a joint pain, ankle pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, hip pain, any kind of pain, the body eventually will break down when it's under that much stress.
That stress can cloud your judgment to the point that you'll just say yes to the scalpel or yes to another prescription of pain pills. But maybe it's time for a second opinion from QC Kinetics.
The reason why I would recommend this is because the natural biologics that QC Kinetics is providing you gives your body a chance to naturally heal itself.
Restorative, regenerative solutions are here. Get lasting relief and live your life.
Call QC Kinetics 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. QC Kinetics 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. I want to thank Aaron Walker and Buddy for joining us on the Titan MR hotline. Bill says, I don't think people realize what a bad team that Billy inherited. It takes several years to get all his players in. Yeah, it was a bad team, but we got to win games this year. Simple as that. No other way around it. Comfort Tip Heating and Air is looking for enthusiastic, motivated comfort specialists to join their team. $1,000 sign-on bonus after 90 days. Awesome benefits. And the opportunity to grow with a winning team. Apply today at ComfortTemp.com. Comfort Temp Heating and Air. Comfort is our business. Peace of mind is our promise. Anya Ron on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says Collinsworth holds the UF record for the longest TD pass. He originally was a QB as a freshman. Yep, that's true. Earl said, if Billy would have had this coaching staff from the beginning, minus the two offensive line coaches, they would be so much further down the road. Possibly. Still got to get rid of some of those guys that play it. And somebody was talking about the motions and stuff. I'm a huge motion guy, so I have no problem with the motions. Motions tells you a lot, does a lot to the defense as well, changes their responsibilities. Don't need it on every play, but I do like a lot of motions. Tomorrow's program will have JC. We'll do some Peachland Dental Scottish Open picks. The Scottish Open is this weekend. British Open the following weekend. Can't wait. And who else is on tomorrow? I can't remember. What happens when you get a bunch of concussions? You can't remember. You'll just have to tune in to find out. There was one other I need to change here. Andy says that regarding the this is on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mental Law, regarding the Ring of Honor. They need to change the criteria to include others like Fred Taylor. Yeah, as I've said multiple times on this program, this is not taking a knock against Emmitt Smith or my teammate, who's the all-time leading rusher, Eric Rett at Florida. But Fred Taylor's the best running back we've ever had at this school. I know we had Neil Anderson, Lorenzo Hampton, phenomenal players. But from when you look at power and speed, I don't think there was anyone like Fred Taylor. Buck says Alex Brown belongs too. I agree. So we'll see if that changes over the years. Time will tell. Again, thank you for joining our program. Remember, tell all your friends and family about our program. It is growing like crazy all across the world, believe it or not. But we love having our listeners chime in, text, comments on both YouTube and Facebook and on the Titan MR text line. Have a great day out there, folks, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.